Hello, friends. Welcome to this Mind Bender episode number 1. And you know that the mathematics is the only truth in our universe because universe follow mathematics. Believe it or not, it is true. So it is our responsibility to become sharper using the mathematical formula because if you learn something, you will never forget it. So let's begin our Mind Bender show today, and let me display the question, today's question. And the question is, a 300 feet long train is traveling at the speed of 300 feet per minute, and it must pass through a 300 feet long tunnel. This is a question. How long will it take the train to travel through the entire tunnel? So the question is, a 300 feet long train is traveling 300 feet per minute and must pass through a 300 feet long tunnel. How long will it take the train to travel through the tunnel? Well, friends, this is a very easy one. It's very logical, but people seldom use logic and they try to get the answer first. But look at the question. Look at the question carefully and then try to answer. I'm sure you can. Nevertheless, I will also give you the answer today. So let us proceed in understanding this problem, which is a 300 feet long train traveling at 300 feet per minute speed, and it must pass through a 300 feet long tunnel. How long it will take this kind of train to pass through completely clear from this tunnel? How much time this will take? So in order to solve the this particular problem, let us now divide this problem into various variables. Now we know that there are variables like distance. There is a distance which is there, and there is a speed, of course, which is also provided in the train. And now what we have to do is basically find the time. Time is the unknown variable, and that's a question that we need to find how much time the train will take to pass through this tunnel. So we can use this formula, which is known as in order to calculate time, is basically the distance divided by speed. The time takes a particular vehicle takes to pass through certain road or certain tunnel can be calculated very easily by dividing the distance and the speed. So distance and speed are the variables that we know that these two variables have been provided in the question. So let's look at the problem. For the front of the train to enter the tunnel until the back of the train clears the tunnel, we need to consider the entire length of the train. So basically there are two ends of the train, and tunnel is also a fixed length. So this train has to pass through this tunnel, and the question is when it will clear from this tunnel. That means this is the front of the train. Let's say this is the front of the train and this is the back of the train. It must pass through the tunnel entirely. That means front has to pass through the tunnel, and when it has passed through the tunnel, then the back of the train must also pass through this tunnel completely. And how much time it will take to pass through is the question. So let's go back to our calculations, and we need to consider that the entire front and the back of the train will pass through the train. So let's look at it. It's a very simple question. The front of the train needs to travel the length of the train, which is 300 feet. So the time it takes for the front to clear the tunnel is, let's say we call it T1. So T1 is equal to distance by speed, as it was described earlier. So 300 feet distance, which is the length of the tunnel, divided by the speed of the train, which is also 300 feet per minute. So using this formula, what we get, T1 is equal to 1. T1 is equal to 1. All right. So this is about the front of the train. what about the back of the train? So back of the train must also travel the same distance as the front of the train because it's a linear motion. So therefore, let's call the apply the formula again for the back of the train, and this time we call it T2. T2, and apply the same formula. The distance the back of the train will need to clear is the distance, is the length of the tunnel, and the speed remains the same, which is 300 feet per minute. Therefore, back of the train will also clear the tunnel in 1 minute. All right, so the front will take 1 minute. The back of the train will also take 1 minute to clear the entire length of the tunnel. So what will be the answer? The answer will be, in order to find the total time it takes for the entire train to pass through the tunnel, we need to add T1 and T2. So which is 1 minute plus 1 minute equal to 2 minutes. So this is the answer. 2 minutes it takes for the train to clear the tunnel. So here we get the answer, which is 300 foot long tunnel. There's a train which is also same length, and the speed at which the train is passing, it will take 2 minutes to cross the entire tunnel. So friends, this was today's mind bender. If you know any other mind bender, please write it to us. We will take it up in the next session, but I will meet you tomorrow again with a new math puzzle. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.